Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. If you're new, as always, please make sure you subscribe. You hit that subscribe button, smash the like. This is an emergency meeting. This is an emergency meeting. This is an emergency meeting. This is after the 2-1 defeat to Manchester United at Old Trafford. 14 years in the making of our last time. Well, 13 years. 13 years since we last won at Old Trafford. Last night I was in the clouds. I said it if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, you'll know that I was a bit annoyed, so to speak. I was a bit angry yesterday with the performance because we were shocking. We were shocking. It was a performance that was gutless, toothless, spineless, any less you can think. Effortless, adventurous. It was not adventurous. Last night's performance was a shock. I want to get as many people in the comment section. I need to hear what you think about the performance last night. Maresca lost his head like many Chelsea fans did with those substitutions. I need to hear what people think. I want to hear people's views, thoughts. Smash the likes, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Because it's an emergency meeting. I actually feel stupid that I said this team could challenge for the title. I'm not too old, and I'm old enough to know that I can have humble pie and accept humble pie and accept when I was wrong. I've been wrong. This team will not challenge for the Premier League. This team is not good enough to get 4, 5, 6 wins on the bounce. I've been naive. I think the Club World Cup, I think the Conference League, I think it clouded my judgment. We're not good enough. We're not good enough defensively. We've got bozos as goalkeepers. We're not good. The manager's subs. Let's look at the lineup, because there's a lot to unpick. There's a lot to unfold. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot I want to get involved in this conversation. If you're here as part of the live stream, as I said, make sure you subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Get involved. I want to know. I need to hear people's thoughts. Because even when you go 10 men, you get your goalkeeper sent off, you bring on a substitution, the game wasn't gone. We lost Sanchez 5 minutes into the game. This is the game. This is the team we went with. This is the team that we went with. Now, if you remember on Friday on the podcast, one of the things I said is we're playing Man United, who play back three, 2 wing backs. They've got the 2 in the midfield with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. They'll have Ahmad and Mbeumo playing just in front of them, with Šeško playing up front. One thing you have to do, especially against the back 5, is have an extra body in our midfield. It wasn't even that complicated. I said it on Friday, you can't play how you're going to play against Bayern Munich, Brentford, West Ham, Fulham, Crystal. You can't play every single team exactly the same way. Some teams are going to play a back 5. Some teams are going to play 4 at the back. Some are going to press. Some are going to have the low block, mid block. Some are going to use the wider areas to exploit it. Some people like to come in and play through the middle. You have to adapt. And again, I've been very naive. I've praised Maresca a lot. But you've got to be adaptable. And you've got to change things. Our lineup was Sanchez, Reece James, Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah, and I'm going to say this now before I carry on. Bearing in mind, this is Trevor Chalobah that was nearly forced out this football club. He came out after the game and gave an honest opinion, an honest post-match interview, close to tears. Now, I don't know if Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Tosin, I don't know if Sanchez came out. I don't know who else came out and done interviews, but Trevor Chalobah stood up after that performance. I don't know what the gaffer said after the game. I haven't watched any of it. So anything we go through on this live stream I'm hearing it firsthand. I don't know what the manager said after the game. Apart from the fact he said, when United play with 5 attackers, we have to play with 5 defenders. Nonsense. But Trevor Chalobah came out close to tears yesterday and gave his honest opinion, his honest assessment of how poor we were. There was no fight, no desire. Even when you go down to 10 men, 5 minutes in. I said yesterday, Mbeumo, if he scores, he scores. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He's still got to get the ball in the back of the net. There was no reason for Sanchez's leg to be out the way it was out. Let's carry on. Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo in the midfield. We went with Neto, Esteval. Again, Esteval on the left, Neto on the right. Again, that didn't make any sense to me, but here we are. Cole Palmer, who apparently was not fully fit. Cole Palmer's told the manager he wants to play. Backfired completely, comes off after 20 minutes of football. He's got to be stronger. The gaffer has to be... If the gaffer knows the player's not good enough, he's not fit enough to start, we've got options in that area. Buonanotte, we could play Esteval there. You can play so many options. I can't understand why you would risk Cole Palmer if he's not fully fit. When you've got Benfica around the corner, you've got Liverpool in a couple of weeks. I can't get my head around that. I don't understand why you would do that. João Pedro, who I thought played a very good performance for what it was worth, held up the ball well, was very isolated due to the subs, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we've got to address something. We've got to address something. Why is Trevor Chalobah the guy that's coming out and talking to the press? Where's Enzo? Where's Enzo Fernandez? Where's Reece James? Where's Tosin? Where's Robert Sanchez? They went and hid in the dressing room. They threw Chalobah out there to do the post-match. Now I can only assume that the players got a dressing down in the dressing room. But when you go down to 10 men, it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment of a performance. The substitutions yesterday. Now, of course, Sanchez, he goes off. And I'm going to try and show you this. I can't get the channel taken down. So I'm trying to do this in a way that will not get the channel taken down. But I need you guys to see this, because let's try and do it in a freeze frame moment. Now, this is the ball over the top. The ball over the top has happened. Now, even at that point, we're not actually that badly set up. But you can see here already, here's Mbeumo. Right here. There's Caicedo. I'm assuming that's Chalobah, and you got Wesley Fofana. I'm assuming this is Sesko here. I'm going to try and run it forward a little bit. Now, look at the difference here. He won the header, first of all. Now, I think that's Chalobah and Sesko running for the header. Wesley Fofana, in this situation, bearing in mind, this is what I was saying about having the extra body in the midfield as well. Because I think when you got that body in the midfield, you overload the opposition's box. You have a net. We've got an extra runner in the midfield. The midfield is the engine of the team. I don't get it. Wesley Fofana here. And again, I've got to ask the question. You can just see him coming into the screen here now. Robert Sanchez. Look where Mbeumo is, and look where Sanchez is. You could be blind and deaf and know that Sanchez is not winning that race. Look where the ball is. Look where you've got two centre-backs, or you got Caicedo and you got Wesley Fofana. Both. So it's a 2v1. Sanchez would have to be as fast as Linford Christie, Maurice Green, and Usain Bolt to win that ball race. And some of you might not know who Maurice Green is or Linford Christie. You might be too young, but go and do the history. You would have to be super quick to get to that ball. And I'm going to say something else. You don't even need to come out your box, because you've got two players here in Caicedo and Wesley Fofana, because Šeško's, he's out the game now. He's out that run of play. He's out. He's made he's flicked the ball on. He's done his job. And Mbeumo, a 2v1. Let's try and move it on slightly. Now, even worse, slow reaction. But I mean, that frame tells you everything. Now, obviously, this is not, I can't play it in full time, but you can see already that there's no way, there's no hope. There's no hope for Sanchez to get that ball. If anything, I'd rather he stood where he is right now, made himself big. Now, Mbeumo's got two things. He either goes round Sanchez and tries to score, which if Sanchez was an intelligent goalkeeper, he would show him on the outside. So he'd show him onto his weaker foot, and then he'd either go out for a goal kick, or he goes over the bar, or he goes into the goal. The three eventualities that could happen. Or if Sanchez comes out and he tries to save it, go low, and Mbeumo has to then dink it over him. But even so now, we've got Caicedo, Wesley Fofana was too slow to react. There's no, in what world is Sanchez going to win that race? In what world does he win that race? He's never getting to the ball, ever. It's just never. And if you look closely, look at the replay. And Mbeumo's smart because he moves the ball very slightly away from Sanchez. Very, very. So Sanchez does get a touch of the ball, but it doesn't matter whether he touches the ball or not. It's denying a goal scoring opportunity. It's a red card. Now, two things. Sanchez either has to be very more commanding in terms of that situation. He either has to be in a position where he knows he's going to win the ball and he's going to be first to it. Smart goalkeepers read the game a lot better. They rush out, they're there, they clear the danger. Jordan Pickford is a very, very good goalkeeper in terms of that. He will just clear the danger. He's done it a couple of times in the Merseyside derby yesterday. He does that very, very well. Our goalkeeper was slow off the blocks. Brain fog. All the things you don't need to be an elite goalkeeper. Everything that you don't need to be an elite goalkeeper, this guy has not got it. It's a red card. I'd rather Mbeumo scored. Because I'll tell you something from now. One of these two would have dealt with that. If he goes round the goalkeeper, it's Wesley Fofana. If he goes towards the right, it's Moises Caicedo. We had cover. I don't think he even needs to come out and make that challenge. It's crazy. It's absolutely bonkers. I don't think Sanchez, we're stuck with him. We're stuck with him now. We're stuck with him. We needed a solid top goalkeeper. I'm not saying that's Ederson or Donnarumma or even Mike Maignan, but those three goalkeepers are 1,000% better than what we currently have. 1,000% better than what we currently have at this football club. And to spend the money we've spent, and again, I'm talking in hindsight now, to spend what we've spent as a football club, and we still don't have a solid goalkeeper. We've allowed even Kepa, let's be honest. I mean, Kepa's not the best, but I think Kepa is definitely head and shoulders above Sanchez. He's definitely head and shoulders above Jurgensen. We allowed Petrovic to go out on loan, to Bournemouth, and we've let Slonina, I think, go on loan. Or is he still there? I can't even remember. But either way, the goalkeeper situation is very, very clear to see now. None of the goalkeepers on Chelsea's books are good enough. We might have to play Tim Crud. None of them are good enough. We allowed Kelleher to go to Brentford for about 26 million. Ederson went for 12 million, 25 million for Donnarumma. These are pennies to these football clubs. Pennies. We should have grabbed a goalkeeper. In hindsight, I can say it now, we're not going to win anything. We're not going to win the Champions League. We don't win the Premier League. We don't win a domestic cup with these guys in goal. They're that bad. They are that bad. In fact, they're not bad. They're awful. They're awful. They're awful goalkeepers. They're making schoolboy errors. Schoolboy errors. And here's what I don't get. You've got to bring off a player. We know this. Esteval, I felt sorry for him. What did he do yesterday? I don't know. Did he touch the ball? He made 2 passes. One was brilliant. He had 6 touches of the ball. He touched the ball 6 times and got subbed off. And I get why he came off. I understand why you would keep Neto on and you want to bring Esteval off. I get it. You've got to bring someone off to bring your goalkeeper on. But then to bring on Tosun for Pedro Neto, I'm perplexed. I can't understand that decision. I don't understand it. Because you've not only taken one attacking threat off, a creative player in Esteval, you've taken the second creative player off in Pedro Neto. So now you're playing 5 at the back with Tosun coming in. Let's rebuild the squad. Let's see what. Let me try and explain to some people what actually happened yesterday, because so we take off Esteval first of all. For Jurgensen. So let's just move him out of the way for a minute. Let's just move him. Let's put him to the side. Imagine Sanchez is no longer there. Right, so let's put him in goal. Oh, we don't want Sterling. So let's imagine Sanchez is not there because it won't even allow me to take a player out of the team. Let's put him here. Let's bring him here and we'll move someone else in a sec. Oh, brilliant. Tosun, just who I needed. So we got Tosun. We then took off Neto. And this is how we were playing. Cole Palmer's role became ineffective. We played with a back flat 5, which I never understood. Because all your threat is gone. Cole Palmer sat here pretty much most of the game for 20 minutes. He then comes off. He then came off. Who did he come off for? For Santos. Another strange decision by Enzo Maresco. Because now you bring on here. So now you're playing with a back 5 and a 3. And you've got Mr. João Pedro just running around. Just running around. He's just running around. No creativity, no service. No, nothing, just running around, just getting some cardio. Just running around, doing nothing. And then in the second half, you bring off Cucurella and Wesley Fofana. And we went to something like this. And even still, my head was scratching. I couldn't believe it. You brought on Malo Gusto, who plays left back. And then you brought on Tariq George. Bearing in mind, this is Tariq George that nearly left the football club deadline day. If he's getting picked, I don't even know where he played yesterday. I couldn't really tell you. He was here, then he was here. I don't know where he played. I don't know where Tariq George played. I'll be honest. I think his head's gone. He came on. I think he got a yellow card pretty much instantly as he came on. I think his head's gone. I think he wants out of the club. He doesn't seem motivated. And I think when you've got a move so close in terms of the deal being done for 22 million to go to Fulham on deadline day and it drops through, I can probably understand your frustration slightly. Maybe you wanted to move, more game time. But for this guy to be getting more game time than Garnacho, who knows the team inside and out, Gittins, Buonanotte, I said yesterday, I'm going to say it again, Mark Gui has to leave our club. Not because I don't rate him, the total opposite. He has to go because he does not deserve to be recalled back from Sunderland. And he doesn't even get even when you're down to 10 men. And yeah, I get it. You want to stabilize the game. You want to try and control it a little bit more defensively. You want to shut the shop up a bit. But Manchester United they weren't attacking us. They weren't peppering us with goals or shots. It wasn't like we was under the cosh or we were playing PSG or Real Madrid or Liverpool. Even when we played Liverpool a couple of seasons ago and Reece James got sent off for a handball, we showed so much fight at Anfield that game. And we got the draw. If you remember, we got the draw. We battled so hard in that game when Reece James got sent off at Anfield. Last night, we didn't even throw a punch. It was such a one-sided contest. We didn't even attempt to do anything. We threw the towel in 5 minutes into the game with those two subs where you take off the two effective creative players in Esteval and Pedro Neto. And then you bring on very defensive-minded players in terms of Tosin. Then you're bringing on Santos to sit in the midfield. We should have played with those three in the midfield in the first place and ran the midfield. Because if you overload the box during the transition for Manchester United, who are going to be pressing up, they've got three centre-backs. They want to play as high up at the pitch as possible. You've got the two on the wide areas and the wing-backs that are going to fly up and down the wing. There would have been so much time created for our wide players to create something. So much time. This is on Maresca. I generally can't believe a manager who's managing at this level, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. There must have been millions of Chelsea fans watching that game thinking the same thing we were all thinking. You've got to go for it now. Even more so, Casemiro gets sent off. There was still nothing from us. But the subs killed us. Those substitutions killed us in the first 5 minutes of the game. Cole Palmer, if you're not fit, Maresca has to grow a backbone and be honest with his players and say, if you're not fully fit, you're not in the team. Or you go on the bench and maybe we test you out with 10 minutes to go. Because we've got creativity on the bench, supposedly. In Gittins, in Buonanotte, Garnacho. It's not like we're struggling for players in that area of the pitch. So if he's not fully fit, which now means he could be out for even a longer period than we thought he was going to be originally, it's like we almost rushed him back after the West Ham thing. It's like we rushed Cole Palmer back for some weird reason. Yes, he's one of our better players, but again, I'm going to say it for the third time, we're not struggling for options in those areas. So why are we rushing him back if he's not fully fit? It doesn't even make any sense. If you're in the live stream, get involved in the chat, have your say, let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit the subscribe button. But it's awful. It was an awful match of football. And I'm not going to say it's one of the worst I've watched in years because I don't think United were that good. But that makes it even worse. The fact that United weren't even amazing. They weren't playing us off the pitch. They just wanted it more. And even when they went down to 10 men, they looked like the team that was going to score. And I know we got our goal with Chalobah, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It was not enough. It was a poor display of football. And I can't understand for the life of me why you would do that against a United team that you know is very vulnerable. You can get to them. I don't get it. I'd love to know what people think about Maresca. I don't think sacking Maresca is the option. This is what Trevor Chalobah had to say after the game. And some of you fans want to knock Trevor Chalobah. Some of you fans want to knock Trevor Chalobah. I'm not even going to read it. I just want you people that are on the live stream or watching this afterwards, if you can read, please read it. This is a player that has been at this club. He knows what it means to play for Chelsea Football Club. This is a player that some people criticize, who scored the goal for us last night. Didn't give up. Didn't give up. Was told 2 seasons ago not to come and train with the first team. Didn't say a word. He just got on with his football, went out to Crystal Palace, got recalled, and he's still here. He's the one here talking for the club. Not Enzo, not Reece, not Tosin, not Sanchez, but Trevor Chalobah. And there's some people in the fan base that want to tell me he's the problem. It's not the problem. He's not the problem at all. Big up Rich Moneymakers as always in the chat. Said, big up legend, keep up the elite work, appreciate that. The owners wasn't happy with the result when Stanley finally getting some heat off Todd, according to my sources. Bad results, but from now on, coach will learn from this. I don't think he will. I don't think the coach has learned anything from this. I think we'll still see the same 4-2-3-1. We'll still see that inverting of the fullback. We've got to change things. We've got to change things. Lincoln's a big game. I know it sounds stupid, but look, after yesterday, bearing in mind we won't have Sanchez, I don't think he was going to play anyway. I think it would have been Jurgensen. But I want to show you guys something. Because it got worse for us yesterday. As I said, I can't play the full video. There can be no complaints for this, by the way, the red card. But the fact we allowed this to happen, the fact we allowed this goal to happen, Jurgensen surprised me yesterday how bad he was. I mean, I don't know if it's because he's not been playing regular football or what, but look at that. Like Chalobah, yes, he has to step out earlier. But look at this. Now, let's just say for argument's sake, Jurgensen saves that. You've got Cole Palmer, who looks like he's about to go and head down to the tunnel. You've got Reece James, Wesley Fofana, Moises Caicedo, Trevor Chalobah, and Tosin. No one's thinking he's actually going to save that. No one's thinking I better get there and put my foot in and make sure that we clear the ball. Look at everyone. They've done this twice, both goals. The first goal, no one's thinking, I need to get to that ball. I need to go and help the goalkeeper and recover the ball. I need to kick it out for a corner. No one's thinking that. And again, I know this is a freeze frame, so people are going to say if you play it in real time and all the rest of it, but I've played defense. I've played as a defender. 1 out of these 5 should be here. No one should have allowed him to make that run. I think he starts his run in between Wesley Fofana and Chalobah. No one should even have allowed him to get to that point where he's able to be through on goal, onside. This is where I have to look at Chalobah for this because it's his mistake. He's the one that was meant to be marking Fernandes. And he allows him to go through. He tries to step up in line with the others. He does, and he's too slow. And Fernandes beats the trap and he gets the goal. The second goal, I mean, look, you can see it here. Yeah, he beats the trap very well. It's a good header. Again, you got 1, 2, 3. No one's even attempting. How do you get a free header in the box? It's a free header. It's a free header, unchallenged. This is disgusting. I've got to laugh because if I don't laugh, I'll cry. But this is disgusting defending. This is absolutely schoolboy grassroots defending. This is defending of the lowest quality possible. No one even attempts. He's got a free header in the box, unchallenged. Again, wrong side. Wrong side. He tries to step up, but as you can see already, he's Cucurella's probably got the best view of everything that's happening. He's too slow. Chalobah's too slow to step up. They give the goal. But this one, if this is the second goal, I mean, this was like watching the Choco brothers. Now, Reece James's clearance for this goal, bearing in mind, let's look at you got one, looks like Caicedo, I think just stood static. You got João Pedro. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me restart that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 players. 9. Let's include Cucurella because he's in there. 9 players against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't even, so say 6. Reece James's clearance is diabolical. It goes up into the air. Again, unchallenged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All looking at the ball. Everyone's just looking at the ball. Jurgensen is doing exactly the same. Jurgensen, the goalkeeper. He's not thinking this is going to come down. I need to be ready, be on my toes. I need to be ready to save this. He's looking at the ball. He's looking at the stars in the sky, the rain. Another header unchallenged. Everyone was too busy watching the ball. Šeško. Back post. Too easy. Casemiro. Look at that. Unmarked. Free at the back. Some are going to say, but it's zonal marking, and when you're marking a zonal, doesn't matter. Does not matter, especially when you go down to 10 men. Especially when you go down to 10 men. 3 United players at the back post unmarked. It only has to land in the right way. It's a goal. Because look where Jurgensen ends up. And look at these bozos here. Like they're in school. Everyone's got their hands up. No, we wasn't offside. We just didn't defend well. Everyone looking to get out of jail by the linesman. Every single player needed a get out of jail free card from the linesman. It's probably some of the most shocking defending I think I've ever seen. I can't think of the last time I've watched goals and thought, I think I screamed goal before this was even a goal. I said it's a goal. Because everyone was looking at the ball. Jurgensen was looking at the ball. The ball comes down. No one's prepared for it. No one's even noticed that we've got 3 players behind us at the back post waiting to stick it in. We let Manchester United, I mean, look where he is. The ball's there. He's on that side of the goal. Again, people are going to say free frames don't tell you the biggest story, but how's the goalkeeper on the wrong side of the goal where the ball is? It's not funny. It isn't funny, but it's just nuts. It's nuts to think. And I'll be honest. I mean, that was never a second yellow, by the way. If I'm being honest, being critical, it's a foul. But I don't think it's a second yellow. If I'm being honest. Now they're gonna say about this penalty. I'm gonna try and find the penalty. Maybe that was in the first half. I can't even remember. My head was gone. I can't find a penalty, but the penalty was not a penalty for me. It's not a penalty for me personally, but that's just my opinion. Some of you might think differently, but it wasn't a penalty on João Pedro. Big up to Brian Cameron. Jurgensen and Sanchez aren't good enough to be our number ones. They're not. They're not good enough at all. They're really not good enough. And I'll be honest, I said on Friday, I said on Thursday, last week, Sanchez has improved. Then I woke up this morning and I thought, just because someone improves, it doesn't mean that they're good enough. That's the first thing I thought when I woke up this morning. Just because you improve, it doesn't mean you're good enough. It just means you've improved from the position that you was currently in before. It's not good enough. We don't win the Premier League with Sanchez in goal. He hasn't got the mentality to win. He doesn't even need to come out and do that. He just doesn't. Cost us the game yesterday. Yeah, it's a fair point, but I can't even hang on to those decisions. Overall, even if we could have played for another 2 hours in the rain, and I still don't think we beat that United team. I still don't. Yes, you need those decisions to go your way sometimes, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And we can't look at the decision. The referee's always going to be diabolical in the English Football League. From top to bottom, National League to Premier League, it's always going to be bad decisions across it. We shouldn't be relying on those. Yes, you want to get them if they're correct. And me personally, I'd be annoyed if that was the other way around and we got a penalty was given to the other team. Based on that, I think I'd be annoyed. But I mean, the penalty situation, the game was gone anyway by then. The game was gone. We were losing at that point. We had a man sent off. But things have to change at Chelsea. We've got some tough fixtures coming up. Lincoln, Benfica. We play Liverpool, I think, on the 4th of October before the international break as well. We've got some tough fixtures coming up, but things have to change. Things have to change at this football club. Because if they don't, then I don't know. And this is another thing that needs to stop. This is the emergency meeting, by the way. So again, hit the likes up, get involved in the chat and all the rest of it. But you see things like this. This is Robert Sanchez on Instagram. On me today, guys. Big sorry for that. Team put in a massive effort on the second half, but couldn't get there. Do you know how insulting that is? For all the fans that travelled for hours to Manchester in the rain. That's all you've got. A little emoji and a couple of words. I'd rather footballers don't come out and say anything. I'd rather they didn't come out and say a word. Just go and get on the training ground and make yourself a better player. This is the era that we live in, where unless you post about it, it's almost like look, not the result we wanted tonight. We fight until the end. No, you don't. You didn't. They're just words. Does any Chelsea fan honestly think Chelsea Football Club fought yesterday to the end? We go back to the work together for next game. It's just nonsense. It's just words. It's not even got punctuation in it. It's just words. It's just words. It's just words. It's just absolute words. Like I said, I didn't hear or I didn't even listen to any post-match stuff yesterday. Maresca saying here that they attack with 5 players, so the idea was to defend with 5 players. You can defend with 4 at 11v11. The game probably changed after they conceded the red card also with Casemiro. We were much better. This mentality, this whole mentality of having to... It's like a champion. It's like a Leicester City mentality. They attack with 5 players, so the idea was to defend with 5. No, just stick to your back 4. Like I said, when we were at Anfield, we improved with 10 men. We were a better team at Anfield when Reece James got sent off. With 10 men. And we got the point. If you remember, it was 1-1. We got the point and we defended. We didn't stick everyone behind the ball and get worse. We went on to try and win the game. It's how you control the game as a manager. And I'll be honest, I'm looking at Maresca now and I'm thinking you might be at your depth a little bit now. Last night was the first time I've ever thought this about this manager because I've always gave him a bit of a You know, coming into a team, it's not your team. You've got your players. You've done well at the Conference League, which you was expected to win. The Club World Cup was a bit of a surprise. I don't think many Chelsea fans thought we were going to get to the final, let alone win it. But to go on and win it, you expect a little bit more than you think, right, okay, you've proven that you can go and play some of the better teams in European football and across the world. But this United team is disjointed. Shesko put out a stinker. Ugarte, Casemiro. We made Luke Shaw look amazing. Yeah, Luke Shaw was bossing the defense. He was doing stuff. We let Mason Mount come on and rile up Enzo. It's just not good. It was not good. Enzo Maresca on Cole Palmer. Cole this morning did a test to play this game. He was not 100%. It was a fantastic effort for the club, for his teammates, for the team. Unfortunately, he was not 100%. Again, I have to look at the manager. If you've got one of your players that is not 100% in a game where you must win 3 points, why are we playing him? Because all we've probably done now is delayed his return back to the team by 4 weeks, if it is a groin injury. Let's hope he doesn't need surgery. It could be out longer. So what was the point? Allow him to recover in the time that he needs to recover. We've got some massive games coming up. Enzo on the red cards. The red card changed the game after 3 minutes. After the red card for them, 10v10, it changed the game for us. We needed to start in a better way. Just words. Doesn't mean anything. Yeah, see, it doesn't mean anything. It's a problem for a long time. This is on Cole Palmer. It's a problem for a long time for him. He's growing. He wanted to play this game, so the efforts is huge. But after 20 minutes, he decided it wasn't too much. The fact that the player is dictating that he's playing in the game, it worries me a little bit. It worries me because if this was Jose, this was Antonio Conte, he's telling you that you're not playing. He's telling you that you're not playing. The fact that a player's got the ability, the control to say, actually, I'm playing. You've got to put me in the team. That worries me a little bit. And I was surprised at Maresca because he comes across as someone who's very defiant and doesn't take any nonsense. But if he's allowing players like Cole Palmer, who, I get it, he wants to play a game. He's a Manchester lad. He wants to play in the Manchester derby. I get it. But if you're not 100%, we're already playing to a disadvantage already. I mean, look at this. I mean, this mentality. I'm so glad I didn't hear all this yesterday. So Wesley Fofana wanted to come off because he was tired. Because I did see Garnacho getting ready to come on. Wesley Fofana asked for a change because he was tired. Oh, man. I can't believe the level of players we have at this club. Can you imagine Gary Cahill, John Terry, Didier Drogba, John Obi Mikel, Michael Essien, Ashley Cole, Frank Lampard? Can you imagine one of those players saying, Gaffer, I need to come off, I'm tired? The mentality is absolutely different. Can you imagine Petr Cech? I'm tired, I need to get off the pitch. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Dennis Wise saying, I'm tired, I need to get off this pitch? I can't believe. Wow. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe we've got players who are saying they're tired. They're saying that they're tired. I'm in shock. I'm in shock here. I'm in shock. I think Maresca should play Santos in the midfield instead of Reece James. The inverted wing-back tactics isn't working anymore. We've been found out since last season. He's got to have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. As a Chelsea manager, you've got to be... I'm not watching it right now, but I saw the lineup. So Newcastle are playing a back five today. They didn't do that against Barcelona. You've got to be adaptable in football, especially in the Premier League. You have to be adaptable and change things. Some days you want to play with the inverted, okay, no problem, it makes sense. But some days, put that extra body, that extra proper midfielder into midfield. We could have ran the show in midfield last night. Santos, Enzo, and I'm going to show you actually in a minute. In fact, I'll show you now. Why not? Why wait? Why wait? I'll show you exactly what I mean. We could have ran the show in midfield yesterday. We could have ran the show in midfield. This is a complete mess. Right, let's go back. This is how I would have set the team up. Now, whether you go with Chalobah or Tosun, it's neither here nor there. Caicedo, Enzo. Now, I did say on Friday, this is where Esteval doesn't get the game time, but let's say that Cole Palmer isn't injured at this point. You bring on Santos, you bring on Enzo here, have him at the base of the midfield, the two here, you have Neto and Palmer. And that's how you run the show at Manchester United. If you got Caicedo playing here and you got Santos and Enzo in these areas here, I guarantee you, one, you can overload. You can overload United's box. We didn't even put, what's his name, Bayandé or whatever is the goalkeeper. We didn't even, did we even test him? Did he even save anything yesterday? 0 saves, I think. I don't think we even tested him. But this is where you can overload. You lose possession of the ball. Look who you've got here. None of this over-the-top stuff, chasing back, struggling. You've got this guy here who can do this job to a perfection. You lose the ball. These two expected to drop back. You could even drop one of these into this space here. Or you do 2 banks of 2 here. And you drop them back. You win the ball back. These two go out wide again. He drops in here and he drops in here. It's so basic. It's basic stuff. It's absolutely basic stuff. But Maresca's hell-bent on playing inverted. I would not be surprised to see Reece James in the next Premier League game in the midfield. I wouldn't be surprised. And this isn't the first time Enzo Maresca's overthought things and got things wrong, because if you think back to last Christmas, especially that Brighton game, I think we lost back-to-back games to Brighton, one in the cup, one in the league. They smashed us back-to-back in the space of a week. It's not good enough. We need to work a way how we can get 3 of our best midfielders, which is Santos, Fernandes, and Caicedo, in the same team. And if Cole Palmer isn't fit, which he's not going to be, guess who you can bring into the team? Esteval Willian can come into the team. I'm going to take Sanchez out there because I don't even want to see his face. I don't even want to see Jurgensen's face, but you get my point. You've got so much going forward. You've got so much more balance. You've still got the creativity on the front end of the pitch with João Pedro, Neto, and Esteval. And then guess what? You've got the options on the bench. You got Buonanotte, you got Gittins, you got Garnacho, you got Tariq George if you want to bring him in. If Lavia's fit, eventually you bring him into the midfield. You've got Joel Heto for Cucurella. You got Achiempong. You got Malagusto for Reece James. You've got so many. How can a manager have this much to his disposal? And those were the subs that he made yesterday. Oh man, I can't believe it. I'm in shock. I agree. We looked horrendous yesterday. Do you think Enzo is the guy to take this team to the Prem title or Champions League medal? I don't. I really wish and hope I'm wrong, and I've been wrong. I said Sanchez was improving to the point where I thought I was comfortable with him. I said we still need a goalkeeper, but I generally don't think Enzo has the Right now, I don't think he's got the mentality. I'm not saying he won't become a top manager and manage somewhere else or even come back to Chelsea. You never know. But right now, this season, we don't win the Premier League. We don't win the Champions League. I'll be surprised if we win the Carabao Cup. He's not. I don't think he's got the quality. Fofana, made a glass. I agree. He might not be injured. Don't listen to that. I think he was tired. If Fofana's injured again, then that basically, I'd rather he be tired. I'd rather he be tired. If he's out injured again, then let's just write that down as a bad signing. Yeah, long gone are the days of Lampard and Drogba, even Diego Costa. Can you remember what it was like to have a Diego Costa in your team? Someone who loved to get sent off, but you know what? He scored so many goals. When he scored the goals first and then get sent off, he'd do what he needed to do and go and get an early bath. Santos should have been starting over Enzo. I agree. A lot of Chelsea fans were saying yesterday that Enzo didn't look, he hasn't. Enzo hasn't looked his best the last 2 or 3 games. And I don't know whether he's carrying an injury or what it is, but something doesn't seem right with him. So, yeah, but I agree. Santos, when he came on, as much as he wasn't able to affect the game, as much as I suppose he would want to, he did look very much more a breath of fresh air seeing him in that midfield. So, like I said, there has to be a way we can get all 3. Maybe the support in the midfield helps Enzo as well. I think we need to try that before we even write him off a little bit. Santos is very talented. I don't know why Maresca doesn't trust him. This is a player that had one of the best seasons in Ligue 1 last season for Strasbourg. So the fact he can't even get a game for us either tells me that Maresca does not keen on him, or I don't know, because he should be in the team. And if no one's undroppable in this team, everyone can get dropped. Enzo's not, Enzo should not be exempt from that. He should be, if he needs to be dropped, we need to drop him. It's as simple as that. Yep, I agree. He can't do that. He can't play Enzo just because he wants to. Yep, agreed. This is what happens when you, yep. I did say yesterday, this is the Leicester manager that we had yesterday. We did not have the Club World Cup champion winning manager. This was the Leicester City. Let's not get embarrassed. Let's not try and fight for a goal. Let's just sit back and hope we don't get a cricket score. And as Chelsea Football Club, you can't do that. You can't do that. Yep, agreed. He's from the school of Pep. Yep, agree. He did. Yep, stubborn, doesn't change, no versatility, 100%. Yep, exactly. And the damning thing is, Reece James isn't even good in midfield. I think we just caught PSG on a bad day. I generally think if we ran that game back today, right now, and we had to play them tomorrow, I honestly think they'd smash us about 6-0. I think we just caught PSG on a really good day. Yeah, this is why I didn't talk about it until now. Yeah, I mean, look, the season, there's still a lot of football to play. I think that's the only sort of clinging on hope that I've got, is that there's still things that we can play for. We still got domestic cups, we're still in those. We're not that far away from the top of the table, but I'll be honest, I think now my focus has definitely changed from title challenge to let's just get top 4 again. And that's not good enough at Chelsea. That isn't good enough. I shouldn't even be talking about just getting top 4 again and a domestic cup. Because you know who used to say that and still does? Arsenal fans. That's their benchmark. Top 4 trophy. We should be talking with the same energy as Liverpool. And we can't. And we generally can't talk to Liverpool fans. We can't. We might think we've got the best midfield. I think we've got one of the best. We might have one of the best right backs in Reece James. But you see the difference with their team, Liverpool. Everybody fights till the end. 10 men, 9 men, 11. They fight till the end. And when they're under the cosh, like Everton were battering them in the second half yesterday, they defended well. They kept battling through it. And they got the 3 points. And that's the difference between us, and that's the difference between a team that can go and get the result regardless of the situation that they find themselves in. Because I guarantee you, if that's Man City or Liverpool and they go down to 10 men after 5 minutes, They probably walk away with 3 points because they know how to navigate and manage the game to their best qualities. We literally sat back, stared at the ball for the first goal, stared at the ball for the second goal. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. We haven't won the league in 9 years. Chelsea's standards is never just to get top four. I agree. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't just be thinking top four. Like I said, that's an Arsenal mentality to have. Do you know what? I agree with this a little bit, but I don't want to get into this habit again of just sacking. Do you know when we was under Roman, we used to hire and fire, but we were always changing the manager for another quality manager. We got to the point where we ended up with like Avram Grant, but throughout the successful years, we always won something significant when we changed the manager. And that's why I didn't really mind us sacking and bringing in a new manager then. Now, I think if we was to sack the manager, we're not going out to get a top manager. We're not. We end up with another mediocre manager who is either learning on the job. I'm thinking of Graham Potter, even Enzo Fernandez now. They have to be a yes man, so they have to be able to just bow down to what the owners want. I think times have changed. If this was under the Roman Abramovich era, he'd be going out to get one of the best managers. We wouldn't even be in a situation with Enzo Maresca. We'd have a top manager at the club because I think this squad is not bad. I think the tactics, the in-game management, all of those things that matter in a match is why we're struggling. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I don't want to see him sacked at all anytime soon. I think sacking him now would probably be more. It would costly. It cost us a lot more. You know, yes, he's not playing well with this team, but he's here now. He's here now. And the question is, can the owners even afford to sack him? Don't forget, we've sacked Graham Potter. Had to pay him up all his money. I think he took a cut on the deal, but he's still... Oh, man, I don't know. Yeah. Appreciate the sub as well. CFC DJR. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining in the chat as well. It's appreciated. I'm jumping off here soon myself because as I'm talking, I'm getting worked up myself. I agree with this as well. A lot of Premier League defenses hasn't been great, but let me tell you something else. They're clinical in front of goal. Liverpool have not been the greatest defensively, but they get the job done. Even Arsenal, they get the job done. You don't have to have the greatest team from front to back. One of the things we don't have is a leader. And when I don't just mean someone who shouts or they got the captain's armband, or I'm talking about a Thiago Silva. Look at all the great teams. They have somebody in the team that just, if they're missing in the team, there's a if we took one of our players out of the team now, I'm trying to think who that would be. I can't even think who that would be in our team. But if you took out a Virgil van Dijk, or you take out a Rodri, or you see the difference in the team. We could take out Cole Palmer, and you don't really see that big of a change. It's not like we go, we really need this person. There isn't anybody that's so, and I'm not saying you build a team to have a player that you're dependent on, but you need someone that is the galvanizer. Who's that in our team? Who's the one player that you think we can't do without him? Because it's not Cole Palmer. Yes, he's a brilliant player, but we've won games without Cole Palmer. It's not Cole Palmer. It's not. We need someone we need a leader in the team. We need a Thiago Silva. We need a John Terry. We need a Frank Lampard. We need a Didier Drogba. We need a Dennis Wise. We need someone who's going to be the rock, steady the ship and steer the ship. We haven't got anyone like that in that team. There's nobody in that team that can do that. If it's not broke, you don't fix it. If sacking the manager means we're winning the trophies like it's in the Roman era, I'm not for it. But who do we bring in? If we sack Enzo Maresca and we see club statement and it comes out tonight, who's on that list of managers? I'm trying to think now, actually. Let's quickly look at the potential managers. There's not many. There's literally not many managers. In fact, there's no managers. There's none of these managers. I'm not going to bring this up because I don't want to embarrass myself, but none of these managers on this list would I be taking. I'll be honest, Thomas Frank would have been a good shout, but he's at Tottenham. I know people were saying about Jose before we hired Enzo, but I generally can't even give you a list of names of players, of managers, that I would bring into this team. I generally don't know who I'd bring into the team as the manager. So I'm all for taking out a manager if he's lost the dressing room, if the results get to the point where it's unsustainable. But we've got to have a plan as well to bring someone else in who's going to be able to improve the squad. I don't want another manager that's just going to keep us stagnant, literally steady. I want us to get a manager that's going to improve the squad, implement the changes that he needs. I don't know. It's crazy. Before we go, let's quickly look at our fixtures. The only silver lining, I suppose, Sanchez is only banned for a game, but I'll be honest, I don't even think he doesn't even matter, does it? What does it matter? If he's back for one game or he's banned for 2 games, it honestly doesn't matter. We got Lincoln on Tuesday. Of course, it's on Sky Sports because they won a cup upset, which could happen. Let's be honest. We got Brighton in the league next Saturday. We then play Jose Mourinho's Benfica the following Tuesday. And then look, if we can't beat Manchester United, I don't know about that Liverpool game. I don't know. And then we got the international break after that. But appreciate everyone that's been in the chat. Appreciate yourselves. Brian Cameron, Rich Moneymakers, as always, CFC DJR. As always, thank you very much for being in the chat, getting involved in the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, link in the description for the Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff as well. We'll be back tomorrow with more content. Hopefully some news around Cole Palmer. But yeah, it's not been a good weekend for Chelsea fans, so enjoy it while you can. We'll be back tomorrow.